I'll be honest. Like, I've been doing it. I've been thinking about it the last little bit because I've been pubbing Thursdays. I didn't used to be a Thursday pub, but I've been pubbing Thursdays with my day work. So I've been doing even though Thursdays is a light pub, it's still a pub.
Yeah.
So I've been Thursday pubbing, then usually big Friday, Saturday, and then yesterday I had a Sunday pub as well.
Ooh.
So like by the time it gets to Monday, I don't really feel like having a beer.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It happens.
So cheers.
Cheers to staying
Cheers to the
hydrated.
water.
How good's the Thursday session?
So good.
Oh.
Yeah, baby. Marshall gets away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
All right, what's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Barflies podcast, episode 32. Holy shit. The laptop's back. The boys are back. We're ready to rip and tear. I got a spring in my step. I'm joined always today by my good friend, comrade, Alexander Russell. How are you going, mate?
Mate, fantastic. I feel excellent.
Good to be here.
Yeah. Mate, I'm always keen to be here. I'm always pumped. So good. So good to have the laptop back. It's nice just to get to the processes again. You know, it probably annoyed Cody a bit more than me. Just because he's the one who has to kind of do the editing and whatnot. So he uses a bit more than me. But it's still nice just to have it back.
It's just nice knowing now that our process can be smooth again. Dude, it feels like that's just been 5 weeks of just chaos.
Yeah.
At least on my end.
Yeah, it was
it's like we thought the video was going to go out, then it didn't go out, and then anyway.
It's just been kind of fucked.
Yeah,
It's the best way to put it.
It has. And the guy who came to fix my laptop. So a guy came before, didn't work. Or my laptop started working, but I couldn't get in.
Yeah.
So then they sent another guy out, and as soon as the other guy walked in on Saturday, was like, this doesn't need servicing. They just didn't set up the settings properly.
Oh.
So he sat down for 1 minute, tap, tap, done, in.
Come on.
And I was like, great way to start the weekend.
Sweet. Good win. Get a win off early.
Oh, great win.
Did you win in football this week?
4-4 we drew. Yeah.
That's a social team scoreline, that one.
Yeah, dude, it was. Well, we were up 3-1, and then we're up 4-2 with 10 to go, and we drew 4-4.
Choke City.
It was just couple of a bit of call it panic stations on the edge of the box.
Yeah. Okay.
A free kick given away and an 87th minute penalty.
Oh.
So yeah, that was good,
mate. Cooler heads needed.
Cool heads at the back for UGS.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It was good to have a run around round one, and I think they were supposed to be a pretty solid team.
Did you get any goals?
2 assists.
Again?
Yeah, 2 assists.
Oh,
I'll take it.
You go again. He's on a roll.
Yeah, mate, do 4. It's where I belong.
Yeah,
I've
mate.
been saying it for years.
I'm glad that you're tearing it up. Were you playing right wing again?
Left wing.
Oh, nice.
It was just one off a corner, and then one was just being a rat, just pressing their centre back, and I just intercepted the ball and sweated it.
Nice. Oh, it's unlike you. Hates a sweaty.
I love it.
But
no, it was good. Great start to my Saturday. Laptop fixed.
so it
into
sounds like
football.
You had a pretty good weekend.
I had a fucking unreal
Yeah,
weekend.
it sounds like you did.
I'm so much more stoked
Mm.
and up and about this week, as I'm not scat. Or
Yeah.
I'm not as scat
Yeah.
as I was last
Yeah.
week.
You were in the danger zones last week.
I was in the danger zone.
Absolute licorice.
We made dinner after we recorded the pod, and I think I maybe said 6 to 7 words the entire
you
time.
kind of just gave me the pasta and the saucepan,
I started making it,
and then you started, and then you just faded on me, and I was like, just go and sit down. I'll just do it.
just let me do it.
I'll do it for you. Just
I'm
sit down.
thankful that you did. You made dinner and you cleaned up, and I needed that last Wednesday.
Yeah, no,
I really
what a good
did.
guy I am.
I really
cleaned up
did.
as well.
I exerted the little tiny bit of energy I had in the
offer
pod
and the offer to make dinner.
and the offer to make dinner. So I had the food there for
Yeah.
you. You just had to.
Just had to make it. Yeah, it was good as well.
Yeah, it was good
Tasty-
actually.
tasty little
Yeah.
feed. Well, I ended up staying here I was here for about 10 hours last
Yeah,
week.
it was mate, it was It was at least 7.
Yeah.
It was 7 to 8.
It was wild.
And the video still hasn't gone up.
Yeah.
It's going up right now as we record this. So
Nah, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
I was too busy having a fucking unreal weekend. Sorry.
Classic.
Literally, after that Wednesday, I went to work Thursday, like I was saying just before, and I was good to go again. I was ready to rip.
You were sweet.
I ripped for 4 days.
Yeah. Good on you, mate.
Yeah, it was good.
Living your best life.
Sunday, sun came out. Had a
It
nice,
was such a nice dance.
had a nice little beach arvo.
Yeah.
Then got the beers message at like 3:30.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah,
Sure.
beers with an S, as in plural,
Yeah.
as in 1 schooner, 2 schooner,
Multiples.
3, 4 schooners.
5, 6.
Yeah,
Now it's a
and
party.
but the crew rolled in, the Urco crew.
Yeah. The bubble.
And yeah, it was good. It was nice. Yeah, look,
Footy was on.
footy was on. So weird. Five rounds in a row, and the Tigers still haven't played a game.
Yeah, I didn't realize they're not playing this year.
It's so
apparently.
weird. 15 teams in the comp.
Wow.
How weird's that?
I wish they had said that. I didn't realize they were doing that. It's so weird.
How was your weekend?
I don't think the Drags have been playing the last 4 rounds either.
Oh, they just played the one.
Yeah, they just played the one game they won. They haven't
It
played
did
the
3
last-
buys.
Yeah, they haven't been playing.
They're actually top of the table. 1 win.
Yeah,
and
from-
2 points from each.
Yeah,
side.
exactly. No, what have I been? Oh, my weekend was pretty chill. I worked most of it. Friday night I worked a wedding. That was pretty cool. I did a bit of cocktail training earlier in the day, and then I did a wedding at night.
You were the trainee or trainer?
Trainee. It was for the new bar that they're opening
Okay.
up. And then I did the wedding. The wedding kind of went off. I was fearful for how the wedding would pan out. I heard them play the High School Musical remix.
Early on.
I know the DJ played it when he was warming up. He was checking everything was working, and I was kind of maybe worried for what we were going to experience.
Some concerns were.
Some concern over the kind of people that were going to be there and
Yeah.
what was going to transpire on the dance floor.
Oh, more so than like
What
what
kind-
was coming out of the Orcs. It was the actual crowd that it was bringing.
Like, what are we going to see? What are we going to see here if at their wedding they're playing the High School Musical remix? This is going to get messy. It wasn't. He didn't play it. They actually played some okay songs, and it was a good wedding all in all. I think I would have had fun if I was there.
Were you giving a bit of sauce behind the bar? Or?
Yeah, always. They played this. Oh, what song was it?
Hey mate, how are you? Yeah, just a cocktail.
Yeah, I can't remember what song it was. It was kind of a trashy song, but it was so good.
Yeah, nice.
It might have even been, that old song, like the "Put Your Hands Up to Detroit" song that used to be like a banger when we were a kid.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that came on at some point.
Nice.
Can't lie, there was a bit of head nodding to that one.
Yeah.
Couldn't help it.
Bit of a foot tap.
What's happening to me? Couldn't help it. Saturday, had the boys over. Super Saturday. It was on.
That sounds quiet.
Yeah, watched all 3 games. And then, it was just like we're having beers. It wasn't not necessarily knocking it out of the park in terms of like how loose it was. It was just more chill, a few multis, etc. And then there was another party that we were geeing up to go to. And it was at my we were going to another party from mine. So we went to Seaforth to stop at my other friends quickly. They had to pick something up. And as we were there, they've got these neighbours across the road that always have parties. But their house is kind of like the top of like the hill where their street is. And you can't see the house because it's all the way up there behind trees. And there's like an inclinator to get up there. And, you can always hear the party from the street every time you're there. And so we're like, oh, should we go up? We kind of formulated this plan so that if we went up and then they asked us what we were doing, we'd have like a believable reason. So we got in this like...
What was your plan? What was your reason?
Oh, I think it was like, their house was number 16 and we were looking for number 19. It was a really shit plan as well. Oh, we just got all the way up here in this inclinator.
And there's a party on.
Wrong house, sorry. We're actually trying to look for number 19, not 16. Which we thought was pretty good at the time.
Sure.
And, we're a few beers deep. We're like, fuck, this is the best idea ever. So we get in the inclinator, up we go. And you kind of go through these trees at the start. And for the first, 20 seconds, great idea. We're loving it. Then we looked up. And at the top, you can see on the balcony where the inclinator meets it. is them all standing there looking at us, like half the party.
How many houses were at the top? Like how many? Like this inclinator?
It just for the one house.
Just for one house?
Just for that one.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. It's not a new house, but it is like still really nice. Like it's not been. It probably needs a little bit of love, but it's still sick. And we went up there and we kind of got to the top, and then we kind of semi-panicked, and then they kind of like, "What do you guys?" The guys like, "What are you doing here?" And then we kind of looking at each other, we were like, And then one of our friends, Nick, was just like, he just said, "Oh, we're the neighbours across the street, and we heard the party, so we came up." And the guy said, "All right, fair enough," and just opened the gate. We thought we were going to get stopped. They were going to be like, fuck off, blah, 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 like send us back down. We ended up staying there for like 4 hours.
Nice.
And it was actually quite a good party.
Were they good blokes?
They were good blokes. They were legends. There was a guy there that looked like, I don't know if you know who Pedro Pascal is. He's in like movies and TV shows and stuff. I don't know, The Viper, if anyone who watched Game of Thrones, or The Mandalorian, if you've watched any of those series on Disney+. He looked exactly like him. So that's the only real reason I can kind of remember who he was.
Sure.
Because we got a bit wild. Then I had work Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Regretted getting home. Regretted having a bit of like leaving the house. Like should have just stayed. Should have just stayed at home. Not went to secondary location.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Could have just called it. Everyone was leaving my house anyway. Night guy got the best of me. Shock when I tell you that.
Yeah.
But still had a good... But I had fun regardless, so it was worth it.
What do we say, though? Big players.
Big games.
Love big games.
We do. That's what we do. And still showed up on Sunday. It was busy. First nice day in a while. Work was pumping.
Head down.
Got through work. No errors. All hit-ups.
Zero errors.
No, zero errors, mate. I don't make those silly errors.
Yeah. How many carries do you reckon? 20 plus hit-ups?
Countless.
Dylan Edwards fest?
So many hit-ups.
Yeah.
Just big runs up the guts. Got it done.
How many coffees are consumed throughout that time?
I'd say one.
Just one?
Just had one, and then I had a couple cans of Coke.
Just running off sheer match fitness.
Yeah. I just water, a couple cans of Coke, I didn't want... It was pretty hot as well, so I didn't want the hotness of the coffee. I was couldn't find my shorts, so I was rocking a trainer's jeans combo for the day. And you know what? I think I pulled it off quite nicely. I was looking pretty slick, if you ask me.
You were going schnees.
It was, but I look good doing it. So you know what? It is what it is.
And we got some security camera footage of you,
mate. You wouldn't see me. I was going that fast around the place. You wouldn't get me. What's that? What's that bit of lightning? It's like gust of wind blowing around in here. Yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff.
So no, it was a look. Pulled it off, definitely.
Doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah,
doesn't shock me.
Man of fashion and class. So I can pull off. I got plenty of looks.
Yeah, mate. You're a dynamic young man.
I am. That is one way I've been described before. Shall we move on? Love and hate. What's your love this week? What's your hate? What are you feeling? Since I'm surprised you actually have a hate because by the sounds of your last couple of days post Scatness, you've had a pretty good time.
I've had a really good weekend.
So I'm surprised that you've just not got multiple loves. To be fair.
Yeah, and actually, you're gonna hate this, but before I go on to my love and hate, I have one more thing I'd like to touch on, which has just come to me now because I think I've spoken about it on the pod before.
Hit me with it.
Could be my love this week. I don't know. But I went to a gig on Friday night at the Hordern Pavilion, and I've been a big hater of the Hordern. I think it has no atmosphere. If you're under 5'8", you're in trouble there. You know what I mean? You're not saying much.
Yeah. And you're 5'8.5"?
Yeah, I'm like, sure. Yeah, I'll be
5'8.5"
in shoes.
Yeah.
And like
with
on a step.
What are they? Rolandos? What are they called?
Salmons.
Oh, salmons. Why do you call it Rolandos? What's wrong with me?
But yeah, it was sick. I went to a gig. Maybe that'll be my love this week. Maybe I just need to keep more of an open mind in terms of like, gigs, venues, and events just in general, and just not jump the gun on it before I get there.
Don't write it off.
Granted, I did get a free ticket, so that's always going to make it better.
Similar to last week, we're talking about free feeds. free things are just better in general.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But I had a great time at this gig. DMAs.
Mm.
It went off. It was like
That's
one of those gigs
That's
where
very
like,
2016 of you to say the DMAs, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
it was. But I had a really good time. It was like one of those gigs where like the crowd was just like so up for it.
Yeah, right.
And it was like it was packed. I don't know when the last time they played was, but you would have thought it would have been 2016 was the last time they played. The way people were carrying on.
Yeah, I know, because
Like-
that was kind of I swear they were the talk of the town for that kind of period.
Yeah,
So that year or so.
totally.
And what was the song they had that Cher song they covered? Was that
Believe.
them?
Believe, yeah. It
And
was.
everyone played that just all the time.
Dude, they encored that.
They played it there?
They played. It went off.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
like-
surprised. It's probably their best known song. It's not even their song.
Yeah, it's sick. And like it was one of those crowds where like when they came back out for the encore, everyone was like on the shoulders,
Oh, it was going
everywhere.
off.
Like it was going.
Was there phone
off.
lights in the?
No phone lights. It was phones up filming.
Yeah.
But it was sick.
To be fair, that one, it's a pretty good cover of that song. But for that to, it was in the top 100, but it didn't win. But the Wiggles cover of fucking Elephant,
One. Yeah.
I hate that song. I reckon it sucks.
You
that
hate,
cover.
Oh, the cover. Yeah.
That song sucks.
Okay.
I hate every part of that cover.
Okay.
Don't like it at all.
Sure.
And I'm still annoyed. More in total because I lost money on it on a bet on Sportsbet.
What
But
did you have as the winner?
Stay by Justin Bieber and Kid Laroi.
Yeah. Okay.
I just thought, Kid Laroi ticks all the boxes.
He does.
He should have, and it's also
Indigenous Australian.
for Triple
like,
J. Like
Triple
that's
J.
that's like not saying
TikTok
that he should have
song.
won just because of that, but he also it is a good
It's
song.
a pretty good song.
It's a great song, but he ticks all the boxes for a classic Triple J, crowd pleaser.
Did we must have covered the hottest 100 at some point, but it was lousy.
I know, but I'm just gonna say I'm still annoyed the Wiggles won. I wanted Kid Laroi to win.
Yeah, I feel like that was more of like they've won like on novelty as opposed to like, you know what I mean?
Earning it.
And like they put like, and with the greatest respect to Hot Potato, holds a very fond place in my heart as it does many Australian. But like, come on, dude.
Yeah. And I just thought there was one Wiggle, the new red Wiggle. He was like he was the most reason why I didn't like it.
Why?
Just because I just thought he didn't add anything to it. He just went he just said words in the background. But he didn't even say it that it made it sound good. He just kind of sounded a bit dumb in the background, I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just annoyed the song for me.
I agree.
And I didn't think it was good at all.
In saying that, I just saw it literally like an hour ago. Kevin Parker, Tame Impala played with the Wiggles on their Perth leg of their tour.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Go to a Wiggles concert, Tame Impala comes out. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty funny. To be fair. But, that's still not going to make me like the song more.
No, I agree. Anyway, back
Sorry,
to
not to get sidetracked.
back to
Not to get sidetracked.
back to my love for this week. And again, like I touched on before, this is maybe a lame answer, but since I've started working Monday to Friday again, I've started to get like the Sunday blues.
Yeah, you said that last week.
But this week, I kind of just like put the blues to the side and I just like went about my Sunday and just didn't think about Monday at all.
Right.
And it was very like liberating. Like I made a conscious effort of just like, because a lot of the Sunday blues is just you thinking about Monday. You know what I mean? It's literally just you having like, it's literally just your own doing.
Having those thoughts.
And if you don't want to, like this sounds dumb, but you just don't have to think about it.
Do you think also, because you had a full weekend, that you did a lot, do you feel like you were content with what you had achieved on the weekend, so that now that you had the Monday coming, you're like, you know what, I can go back to work. I've had a good time.
Yeah.
I've had a good couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling like by going back, I've not maxed out on the potential of my weekend.
Perhaps that's part of
So
it.
it kind of, you're just like, you know what, it was good. I'm content.
Yeah.
Let's start the week.
I remember guest of the podcast, Jack, saying one time, like, because I said I was off Sundays, and he was like, "Nah, mate, you got to go around Sundays, barbecue, couple beers, footy on. Like, you can grab Sunday, for lack of a better expression, by the balls if you want to."
Correct.
And I did that on Sunday, gently, but I did it.
I'm glad.
It was a gentle grab.
Caressing. It was more of a caress.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I think by the sounds of it, you've had a fantastic weekend.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed yourself.
Anyway, fucking good for me, eh?
Yeah.
Seriously.
So good.
Shut up.
Yeah. Legend.
Do you ever love this week?
No, I actually don't have one.
Nothing's made you happy.
Nothing's really made me happy in the last couple of days.
I'm off it.
Yeah, nothing in particular is doing that. Nothing's really just, nothing's impressed me.
That's fair enough.
Nothing's impressed me.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know what it happens,
Yeah.
It has been a short turnaround as well, a 5-day turnaround.
Yeah.
Well,
usually something catches my eye.
You're
during the
a
week.
very analytical young man as well.
Like I see something, I'm like, that's, I appreciate that, blah, blah, blah. Nothing's really struck me heavily.
Well, something struck me heavily,
What?
and it is my hate this week.
Your hate, okay.
People having phone calls with AirPods on.
Oh.
But doing it with confidence and doing it in public in a busy area, for example, a cafe.
Yeah. Or on a bus as well.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's so odd.
I know. Or at work. People do it like that. Your manager will do it at work.
My manager does it all the time.
Someone did that to me. And you think that, occasionally, you think they're talking to you.
Mm.
And it actually lines up with what you think they're talking to you about. Because you could be talking about something. Then they start talking. And you're like, oh, yeah. And then they turn around. They're like, oh, sorry. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that we were just having a conversation. Now you're talking to someone else.
Yeah. And now we're talking about it. I feel like we might have said this on the pod before. But alas, it's fucking annoying. It's almost like it comes across as arrogant in a way to me. Am I looking into it too much?
The Bluetooth headpiece, if you wore a Bluetooth headpiece, if it wasn't AirPods, you would be looked on as a bit of a wanker.
Yeah.
Like if you had the little touch go for, they usually do business or real estate agents wearing them.
Yes.
It protrudes them as a bit of a twat if you wear one.
Great point.
There is no real difference between that and an AirPod. Your AirPod can just play music. And I'm pretty sure the earpieces can do that as well. So is it just because it's Apple and everyone's like, oh no, it's sick. They're AirPods. They become popularized because I don't think they're that sick at all. They I've always thought that. Never been an AirPod fan.
Okay. I'm impartial. I like them because it's just good for the gym and it's good for running.
Do you do much of those?
I haven't done either of those in a while.
Yeah, right.
So
did you buy the AirPods on the promise that you would do more of it? Now you haven't?
No, it's one of those things when you have them, you can't go back.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I've got a big, comfy pair of wireless headphones, and they're very good.
They block out the demons.
They block out plenty, so they work good. But yeah.
But yeah, this guy at work the other day was sitting in front of where we call out the coffees. And he was talking about the footy, and it looked like he was talking to himself. Which I kind of wanted to jump in the conversation because it excites me. I then realised he was on a phone call, and I was like, can you go and do that somewhere else? I don't know.
Don't jam me up with the promise of a good conversation
Good
about
yarn.
footy. Especially, was he saying some quality stuff as well?
I don't know. I tried to just tune out a little bit because it felt invasive.
Or are you just saying that, and then everything that you've heard him say, you're now going to repeat on the back page later on in the episode?
Yeah. He was actually a deep analytical genius.
Yeah. I was actually sitting there taking notes. Coffee orders were backing up, but I had to get content.
Right, he was running block plays at 11:30, and I was like, give me some of that.
Say less.
There's another element, though, just before we move on. And I just got to put this out there just so you know, I'm completely transparent with what's going on here.
Go.
There's an element about this that I'm fearful of, that if I engage, or if I start engaging in this kind of behaviour, that I might actually enjoy it.
Oh, true.
So in turn, I'm just kind of blocking that out.
Because, once you go down that path, that's it.
Exactly. There's no turning back.
Fair.
So I'm going to ride it till the grave. I'm a hater of AirPod phone calls.
Nice.
What
good
about
to have you on. Well, I just don't like AirPods, so good to have you on the team.
No worries.
What do I not like? You know what? It only got announced the other day, and it's already been kind of brewing, but I'm already off it, and it's weeks away. But the election, they called the federal election the other day. Not to get too political, we'll stay in our lane. But it just annoys me. I just hate here. There's every ad's about that, talking about their policies and stuff. Mate, I actually couldn't care. If I couldn't vote, I might not. People may disagree. That's fine. But I'm just saying, I'm over it, and it hasn't started. They're like campaigning down at the bus stops and stuff already, like trying to talk to you. It's like, mate, just let me get the B1 in peace. I've got my headphones on. Don't try to give me a pamphlet.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
I got Enter Sandman playing right
Yeah,
now. You're
I
trying
don't
to talk
wanna-
to me about
I don't want to.
Greens.
I don't want to listen about this, mate.
Yeah, look, we're often described as a pretty, dogmatic, politically driven podcast. So we'll try and keep it light this week.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Yeah.
It's fucking annoying.
It's just like, and then that's all that they talk about for like 2 months is just like talking just rubbish about,
I feel like with
each
politics,
other.
it's like you're either really into it and you know a lot about it, or you know nothing and you don't give a shit.
See,
Is there a middle ground?
I don't know. I feel like I could
Maybe
be
are you the middle ground?
I feel like I could be the middle ground.
As soon as I said it, I was like, yeah, maybe you are the middle ground.
Because I have an interest in some things going on, but I also don't care enough strongly about them to like blow up about them.
Either for or against.
Yeah, like because it's one of those things. Like whenever you hear people talking about politics, no one's winning any conversation really.
No.
It just turns into a massive blow ups, and you're like, well, where'd that get anyone?
Yeah.
No way. Everyone always blows up.
I'm pretty good at tuning out of conversations as well. And like as soon as politics comes up, dude, I'm in my own world.
Yeah. Like I'm just like doesn't really like have a slight interest in like just keeping aware of general knowledge of things, but it's not like I'm overly political per se. But politics often will overlap into like a general knowledge.
Yeah. And it's weird how like politics, like it can almost like divide people to a certain extent. Like,
well, because it gives like everyone obviously has opinions, some varying in strength on certain issues, and just because of like obviously politics consumes all levels of everything that happens in your life, is like ruled under that. So people obviously feel very strongly about it. So then they obviously, I'm trying to articulate what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
Pretty much, in short, I just kind of lost my train of thought as I was saying it there. But people have very strong opinions about a very varying amount of issues that ultimately, fall under the umbrella of politics.
Yeah.
And are like,
Should we move on?
yeah. No, I'm thinking of a word. Anyway, I forgot the word I was looking for, but
That's all right. It's Monday.
people do feel strongly about it in total.
Good
Good work by me.
That was
I was
good.
making a point twice and I forgot it. And I forgot a different word in the same point both times.
And then as you
I
tried to-
fixed it and I was trying to fix it and I was come back. Oh no, you've got it wrong. You've stuffed it up again.
That's vintage barflies.
Yeah. Like we said, we're all over the politics here. We're all about it.
We should have steered clear.
That's what you get for trying to swim into the deep end of the pool. You drown.
Yeah, you drown. Especially when you can't swim.
Yeah, can't, mate. I was treading water.
Fuck the election, basically.
Pretty much. Fucking see, it's already making a fool out of me.
Yeah.
Fucking hate it.
Yeah. Feel like the people on their fucking phone calls making a fool out of me.
Mate, I'm off it.
Onwards.
Where
Where should we go from here?
should we go? Going from politics, I've got a good one for you.
Yeah?
Yeah. Times your pet has stitched you up.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you got one? Have you ever had a pet?
I
Not to
had-
throw shade.
No.
If you haven't, or anyone that hasn't ever had a pet, but have you?
Would that be shade thrown if I... Would you throw shade if I hadn't
It's
had a
like
pet?
me flexing, like, yeah, I've had a pet. Have you?
Oh, but not really. We had a rabbit for a bit, but it hated being picked up and like touched and stuff, so it felt like we didn't even have one. And it wasn't mine. I didn't really care about it. So.
It's just you just let it off in the Warriewood swamp. Good luck to you. Good luck to your freckles.
No, he. I think it was a he. It was a while ago now.
Yeah, right.
But no, I have never really had a pet. It's kind of it like shocks people when you say that, in a sense.
I feel like a lot of people have pets in Australia.
Definitely,
Like,
I'm
they're
definitely
pretty
in the
popular.
minority. It's not very often you meet someone that like didn't grow up with a pet, but like I don't know, and I don't feel necessarily like I missed much.
Yeah.
And
that's
like,
fair.
I don't know, a lot of responsibility,
Yeah.
all that sort of.
Well, I mean, if you never had one, you wouldn't know what you're missing out on.
Yeah, true.
Actually, that kind of sounded a bit mean.
No, it's fine. It's true.
Yeah.
Like, I can't really, like, people always talk about, like, you know, the love they have for their dog and, like, how much their dog loves them. And I, like, can't really
relate.
comprehend that
Yeah.
in a sense. Like, I really like dogs and I really like cats. And, like, I appreciate them for what they are. But I don't, like, have love for one like it's my own pet.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair. You know, I enjoy pets. Cats, I don't know about cats. There's only one cat that I've ever kind of got along with. All the others have tried to bite me at some like various points, or continually. Like I try and pat them and then they just like turn around and attack my hand.
Okay.
I'm like, sweet, no worries. That's why dogs are kind of better because they like the intent. Like they don't pretty much they don't turn around and bite you every time. But yeah, I've obviously got a pet, Ziggy. He's 12. He's a bit lumpy.
He's a thick boy.
He's a thick boy too, Staffy. Yeah, he'll actually occasionally. This isn't the stitch up, but I'm just saying like he'll like occasionally like say you're patting him and he'll lift his head up. His head is so thick that like if he head bumps you, you get like a mild concussion.
Okay.
And you're like, I need a second. I need to sit down. But I was thinking because I actually had a throwback to one time when he stitched me up. I was taking him for a walk and going past like, you know, the clubhouse at Narrowayne, like the Narrowayne Hawks clubhouse. And it just reminded me of the time that when it was like year 6 maybe. And I was talking to my friend and there was some older boys like there, like they were waiting for footy training, whatever, to start. And there was a couple guys in my year there. And I was talking to them. And conversation finished, like, oh, see you guys. So everyone's kind of looking at us, waving. And as I go to walk away, I kind of take a step. And I'm like, oh, come on, Ziggy. And he's just taking a massive shit right in front of a literal shit in front of a grandstand of people. And I'm just standing there. And everyone's going, oh. And I was like, fuck, this is so embarrassing. No. And that has never left me. And that I just remember everyone just like pointing and laughing. I'm like, oh. And then I had to pick it up.
Laughing at your expense.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's nothing cool about picking up like dog shit.
No, there's
either.
nothing cool. Actually, one time, this was bad. This wasn't really, I don't know if this is a stitch up or not, but I didn't have a dog bag on me. I was taking the dog for a walk. And there's this guy, I'm not sure where he's up to now, but he used to go on the same walking route as I would. But he was in a wheelchair and he had it wasn't a guide dog, but I would say it had a medical purpose, but it wasn't explicitly a guide dog. And I forgot a dog bag on me. I was taking the dog for a walk and as I was going around, drops a big old deuce. And I'm like looking around, going, oh, I don't have a bag. And then I realized that the guy is kind of at the end of the street where I was. And then he's kind of moving closer as I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, I wonder if he saw. And he goes, oh, don't worry, mate. I'll pick it up. So then this guy in the wheelchair had like a dustpan and scoop thing. And he did it for me. And he's like, all good, mate. And he kept going. And I was like, wow, that was seriously embarrassing. I couldn't pick that up. And the guy in a wheelchair picked up my dog poo for me.
What a legend, though.
What a legend by him, but it made me feel horrible.
Yeah.
I felt like such a dickhead.
Yeah.
But yeah. I never saw him again after that,
That's
actually,
disappointing.
funnily enough. It was weird. Literally never saw him again.
Is this in Weena?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Don't know where he's
Well,
gone.
there you go. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, good bloke. Yeah. Sorry.
I would
Got
like
sidetracked for a
to,
second.
I feel like the people would have some good stuff in this regard.
Maybe we should put it up on the story.
The famous maybe we should put it up on the story.
Maybe we should put it up on the story. Keeping people interactive with the podcast. But yeah, I feel like people, like pets, obviously, they've all got their own personalities. I definitely think, people would have some stories. Because, I've got, everyone's got at least one good pet story.
People got up and about the other day on the story
Which one?
With about like what food you would like to try from
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to explain your one? Because I feel like without context, people might not have known what you were talking about.
Oh, okay. So I picked this because I love watching the Gordon Ramsay videos on YouTube and like him on Hell's Kitchen and like MasterChef and stuff of just like ripping into people. But the best videos is actually when he likes the food and you're like, oh, that must be really good if he likes it. And there's this one, it's on MasterChef, where this guy pretty much cooks like a spicy Italian sausage roll in like a pasta sauce. And you can like smell it through the screen, and you can taste it. Like I'm salivating now talking about it.
So am I. I'm really hungry.
It's good. It looks amazing. And pretty much what happens is Gordon Ramsay has one bite and eats the whole thing and doesn't save any for the rest of the chefs. And like the guy obviously has prepared more, but you're only supposed to taste the dish. But he liked it so much that he ate the whole thing like in front of the guy. So ever since I've seen that, I've been craving that sausage roll. Goes that, and then I'll say the ratatouille from Ratatouille looks pretty decent.
Ratatouille from Ratatouille looks good, but isn't Ratatouille like fucking eggplant and shit?
It's just like vegetables.
Yeah.
Like really tasty vegetables.
I'm not sold. Like I'd try it, but I'm not.
Well, it literally made like the biggest dickhead ever turn into like the best bloke of all time with a bite.
That is true.
Like he like transcended space-time. I don't remember any other food with legal quantities of things in it doing that. Unlike, may say, like the Tripper Snipper or something like that from Big Les.
I haven't seen it, but sure.
Okay, that took them out for a couple of days in that thing. But that looks like beast.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. What was the guy's name in the show?
Oh, I forget.
In Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Ahead of its time?
Was it?
That was a question.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it was
When did that come out? How old is it?
2012.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not as early as I thought.
No. 2012.
God, that feels like it's been out for ages.
Yeah, well, it has 10 years.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
God, that's dribbly.
I've seen it countless times.
What is your favourite like animated movie, do you reckon?
Oh. Like from like that, like 2000.
From until now. Yeah, like I think Toy
all
Story.
those ones that we grew up watching.
Toy Story 1 was the first one, I think.
Incredibles.
Incredibles is a great one.
Incredibles is just number one every time.
The new Incredibles was actually really good.
Yeah,
Did
it
you
was
see
pretty
it?
good. Yeah, I did. But yeah, The Incredibles was just Gun. That was my favorite.
That was
one.
Gun.
I've watched that as well, like on DVD. I think I saw it. I remember we couldn't see it at the movies. We tried to go see it like 3 times, but it was always so busy. That's when people used to actually go to the movies. Now everyone just streams it at home.
Yeah.
And then when you finally got it on DVD, I reckon I would have watched it. Oh, countless. Even when it's on TV now, I still watch it. So, yeah, that would be it.
That's a good one.
You?
For sure.
You?
This will shock you. Surf's Up.
Oh, yeah. I've actually only seen it once. I forget what happens in that movie. Everyone
Are you serious?
Everyone froths it. I've only ever seen it the one
Do
time.
yourself a favour.
Yeah.
One of the great scores of all time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you-
Unreal soundtrack.
What is it?
What do you mean?
What is the soundtrack for Surf's Up?
Just like all the music in it.
Oh, okay. Right. I thought there was one song in particular, like a Let It Go situation. with
Well,
Frozen.
it's that New Radical song that was like they were like one-hit wonders for it.
Oh, okay.
You Get What You Give. You remember that?
No.
Okay, never mind. Maybe it should be the song of the week.
Maybe. Oh, true. Happy Feet as well. What a story.
Good one.
What a story. You know.
I really liked How to Train Your Dragon as well.
Yeah. The Billy Elliot of the animal world. Happy Feet.
Nice.
Yeah. And I like the Spanish penguins they have in it. The album for that is actually good. Happy Feet.
The soundtrack?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't really remember it, to be honest.
Yeah. I've listened to it. We'll have a listen after this.
We'll circle back.
Oh, so good, mate. Yeah, you got to. Everyone's got one. Maybe we should put that up as well. Another thing I put up. Maybe I need to explain it a bit better. The Unconventional Heroes
Do you
thing.
want to explain it now and I'll clip it?
Because so the Unconventional Heroes is anyone that can kind of, they're by no means every time. Wait, I'll start again. Unconventional hero, when you think of a hero, it's that kind of like, they're always doing the right thing, blah, blah, blah. But maybe this person doesn't do that. They kind of sit in a grey area, or they don't have a job that is typical to like maybe saving lives or whatever. But you're like, wow, I still like what they do.
Yeah.
Still like the way they go about their business. You know?
Could they perhaps be operating in a manner that would be considered traditionally uncouth? Could
Yeah.
they be perhaps doing something that goes against the rules of their job to potentially
Fulfill it?
just to
Sometimes.
just to be a good bloke?
Are they a bit of a maverick sometimes? Maybe.
Are they putting 13 nuggets in your 10-piece McHappy meal,
Fucking oath they are.
McNugget meal?
Yeah.
Unconventional hero.
Okay, unconventional hero.
You know what I mean?
I had one. I'll share it quickly. Mine was actually from a TV show. And I don't know if anyone's seen the TV show Rake. But pretty much it's about this lawyer. It's set in Sydney actually, but it's about this lawyer and he's kind of a bit of a degenerate. But he just kind of scrapes through every situation he gets in. He just like pretty much weasels his way in and out of every situation. And any bad things he finds himself in, he always just like gets himself out. But he's just so funny. He's like such a kind of like larrikin, and he's like full alcoholic, like degenerate gambler. And it's very entertaining viewing. Although he's not a real person, but still at times, you know, I'm like I like the way that he does things.
Okay.
Yeah, and he just gets by.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is, reach out, let us know.
Mm.
Is it, the guy down at your local bakery,
I did get a couple.
or is it some dribbler?
I did get a couple that I'll share, but maybe we'll do it again and see if we can get
Do you
more.
want to save them for next week? And we'll do them all together.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I did get some, but
Yeah.
you
Let's
know,
do that.
We'll get more. We'll build them up. I took a screenshot, so if you sent anything in, I got it. Don't worry.
We don't miss it.
We don't miss it.
Okay. I'm glad we've cleared all that up.
Okay. I'm glad we have two. And in terms of content, just quickly, some of this stuff you might go, oh, seems pretty generic. Maybe I've heard this before. You know what? We're content whores. We need, this is an easy layup for us. We're producing a show or an episode every week.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got to come up with the some easy ones. It's a bit of a layup for us.
Well, it's going off what we've already talked about. I think it started with the two guys coming into my coffee shop.
Yeah.
Right? Was that the origin of this yarn?
Yeah,
Sure.
pretty much.
But also, like, I wig out sometimes as well because I'm like, I hear something on like some niche podcast.
Or some just any other form of media.
Exactly. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't talk about that. Someone else has already done it. But it's like, dude, you're like one of 200 people listening to this origami podcast. Like,
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, I'll hear stuff getting covered during the week. So, like, especially when I had TikTok, I'd be on TikTok, blah, blah, blah. And, like, the next couple days, the only thing that they're on, like, mainstream radio chat shows that they're talking about is literally they get all their content off TikTok.
yeah.
And they just are reflective of that for anything that they want to talk about. And it's like, well, literally that's what the main people do. Anyway.
Well, I
So-
guess that's like anything though, right? Like
Yeah,
someone does
exactly.
it and you just like,
Yeah.
there's like this concept with, there's actually a whole book about it. It's really interesting. My dad's like a big advocate for it, but it's basically this idea like where you steal like an artist. So basically, if you look at it the way me and my dad talk about it, it's like, as like a traditional artist, I'm not
Yeah.
saying I am. I'm just saying like someone operating in like a traditional art form, whether it be a painter, a writer, something like that. Or even making music. Like a lot of things now are just spin-offs of
of
things that have
previous.
already been done, but people just take them and develop them into their own style. So it's like you steal in like a respectful manner, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a bit different for us because we're just trying to think. We're not like making. Well, I wouldn't call. Yeah, we'll call it art.
Oh, it's art.
Yeah, it's art. But I mean, like, I know what you're saying, and that's
You know
true.
what I
Like, inevitably, you will probably take one or two things. But a couple easy layups for the boys occasionally on the podcast, just to get the content rolling. Because you need to fill the blanks. We always have notes, but sometimes you just need something else. So, but we also love hearing if you guys want to hear anything as well. So even if one of the things that we put up on the Instagram, whatever, let us know. You got any points you want to hear us talk about? Send them in because we love them.
Maybe we'll put the questions memo out again.
Yeah, because we used to do that, so we
We
might,
should start
maybe we'll
doing
bring
that
it.
again. I don't even
bring
know
it
why
back.
we stopped that.
No, I think we
We
just
just
stopped doing
forgot like 3 weeks in a row
Yeah.
and just forgot about it.
We'll bring it back.
Also, what Xander's trying to say, did we both show up with 0 notes today?
Yes. Yes, we did. Yeah, we did. We had exclusively carryover notes from the weeks before, and like didn't even have a full love and hate section.
Dude, the 5-day turnaround's a killer.
Yeah,
It's a killer.
because I only come up with any ideas in the last day before the podcast.
Yeah, well, that's when you start thinking about it.
Yeah, it's the cap on the creativity. Also, I haven't really been going to uni, and usually when I'm on the bus or like when I'm walking around Broadway, I think of stuff and I write it down.
Yeah, well, my stuff always comes when I'm at work.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's similar. Like if I'm driving, I come up with good ideas. Like most of my great ideas, which I've had plenty of, have come while I'm driving.
yeah, I've heard you say that, actually.
Yeah, I think it's because my mind will switch off, and then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, like a solution to a problem, whatever. Boom, it'll just come to me.
Yeah, you've always been like weirdly, I don't know what the word is. I honestly don't have a word to describe it, but you're often like, you think of really strange solutions to really intricate and niche problems.
Yeah.
And I love how you explain them to me like with zero context.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, I was thinking about this thing from like 6 months ago. And this is how I'm going to solve it.
It's come back. This problem has reoccurred.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
And look, I don't even remember what they are because they're just...
It's almost like a shower thought, but it's like a car thought.
Yeah.
I think it's because like you left your own... You just left your own devices for a while.
My own head noise. Go into the rabbit hole. It's like a sweet spot with my head noise.
Yeah.
Where it starts being helpful instead of, derailing what I'm trying to do.
It's so good.
Yeah. Everyone's got to have that, don't they?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you guys all have that too,
You guys,
right?
you guys have like the sweet spot with your head noise where it starts being like productive, right? No, yeah?
Yeah, everyone has that, guys.
Right?
Help.
Yeah, definitely. Should we hit the back page?
Let's hit the back page.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get back to what we know.
Yeah. Let's stick to it. Tell you what, that politics bit bombed, didn't it? Not that we meant to start talking about it. We actually were trying our best not to, and then we got sidetracked into it.
But it almost might be just like amusing because of how fucking dribbly it was.
Yeah. Well, I try. Yeah.
I'll listen to it back when I edit.
Yeah, I tried
to.
Fuck. We should have known. We tried not to. We tried our best not to go there.
We didn't. We just dipped our toes.
We just dipped our toes and we balls it up. Pretty much. Anyway, back page. Let's go. NRL this week. Do you have the game list of the weekend there?
I can get the game list up for you.
Can you get
Is
those
on
up?
short notice? That's
Thanks,
what I do, mate.
Cheers.
No worries.
Plenty of...
I don't think there was too much shocking that went on over the weekend.
I was... Manly, the Knights Manly game, I thought was just a shit game.
I think we all knew it was coming too. Thursday night, Newcastle, no Tom.
I thought
Just...
And the reffing was horrible in the game. Like, just decisions of both teams, like, just shocking. Like, I just thought like there was a heap of errors. It was just not a good game. And then I think Manly scored 4 tries in like
last
10 minutes.
10, yeah.
And it wasn't pretty by any means. Didn't enjoy it.
I mean, they got the 2 points. Manly kind of starting to shake the narrative that they can't win without Tom. I think they're 5 from their last 6 without him. Which is kind of like, I hate, and I always talk about how like anti-mainstream sport media I am, but like, I hate that like they just try and develop a narrative that is critical
of the
counterproductive or like negative towards the game.
They do that with Latrell a lot.
They do it with Latrell a lot, and they do it with Tom, and they do it with... And even though I'm not a Manly supporter, it's like, dude, just let Manly go about their business. Like, you're writing Manly off in round 5. They got the best player in the comp, like, injured. It's like, fucking relax.
Yeah.
Anyway, they've started to shake that narrative anyway, so good for them is my point.
Ulukawatu playing like a gun, opening cup. He's been a shining light for them the first couple of weeks, even when they've been losing.
Do you know how he got his start in the NRL?
Wasn't he just like wasn't he played basketball or something?
Yeah, I'll say it on here because people probably don't know this. I don't know where I heard. I promise I heard it on a podcast somewhere. So basically, Olakau'atu played didn't play rugby league until he was 18, and he went with a Manly player, Anisi Fainu, to a training session, and he was just sitting on the side watching, and the coach like called him in apparently and was like, "Do you want to just come and like stand in the defensive line for this drill or whatever?" And basically the rest is history. Like he just killed it, and then I think he just kept going back in training and got a development contract, and he's just like he's obviously like
talk about right place, right time.
Yeah, he's obviously like a genetic freak. Like I think he was a pretty good basketball player, which is why they always just like kick it to him and he just jumps and cashes.
Well, he's just an athlete.
Yeah,
because he's quick, he's fast, he's so strong.
Yeah, it's good to watch.
He's played well every game, even when Manly have lost. He's played well every game.
Best
and to be fair to the Knights, they had players out injured in the first half.
Yeah.
Ponga, and they kind of got themselves back into it, and the try got disallowed. And then once that happened, and then they had very contentious penalty, blatant fault. Yeah, a couple of decisions just went boom, boom, boom. Manly scored, game over.
And I'll say this as well, because I've been a Cherry Evans hater over the past, but my word, he's playing some good rugby league at the moment.
Yeah, he's playing well.
Isn't he?
Well, everyone talks about how he's overrated, and I'm like, well, I think he's pretty accurately rated. Like, the bloke has won a premiership, he's won Origin, and he's won games for Australia. And everyone goes, oh, is he worth $1 million? Whatever. He's probably one of the only players who are actually genuinely worth $1 million because he's got experience and he also is a really good player.
He's been playing like consistently like that for like probably over a decade now.
Yeah, and people say, oh, I don't know if he's... But it's like, mate, he's always been like one of the best players in the comp, you know? So I think he's always been pretty accurately rated. I just think the criticism always comes about when you don't perform and you earn $1 million. I think you're just going to be, you know... Because if he went to any club within the last couple of years, he would be earning $1 million.
Yeah, agreed. Again,
like no...
Sounds a lot like the media just fucking spinning it to, you know...
Yeah.
To get clicks.
Definitely.
God, fucking mainstream media.
Friday night's games, you know, the last 20 minutes of the Warriors North Queensland game, you know, they had 48 points and then they didn't score any in the last like 20 minutes. Don't know what's up with that. But good finish regardless. Golden point, always good to see.
Mate, good to see SJ kick the field goal. One of the good guys of rugby league, Sean Johnson. And he just like, I sent you his like post-match press conference. He just sounded like so grateful just to be back playing for the Warriors. And
just a smile on his face and playing footy.
Yeah, mate, the boys ripping and tearing. Josh Curran reckons they've got a top 4 team. I love that bloke. Whatever he says, I'm happy to go with.
Well, you went, mate, when you know... Sure.
Yeah, let's go with it. I'm happy to ride the... Like,
fine.
I feel like everyone kind of likes the Warriors.
I don't think anyone... Like, people always like, yeah, if they win, people are like, sweet, we don't not want to see the Warriors win. Because they've always been good on paper.
And they just play good footy.
So, you know, when they're playing well, they're a heaps good side. But, you know, they've played some shocking games. So no one can trust them when it comes to consistency and form.
Everyone hates tipping them.
But everyone likes to see them get up.
Yeah.
You know.
Go the Warriors.
Shame to see North Queensland lose, though, because I have liked the footy they've been playing.
Yeah, so have I. Mate, Drinkwater ripped.
Yeah.
Shock.
Yeah.
How's he not been getting a start? Mate, I swear he'd walk into a 17 at any club, including the Cowboys. I reckon he's a beast. And he was like one of their best players on Friday night.
Definitely.
Ran for 200 metres, try, assist, try. Tackle breaks, offloads.
I don't know what will happen with him.
Well, I think Tabuai Fido's back potentially this week.
He's a weird one. Because also, where do you play him? 6 or 1?
6, I reckon. Hands on
We
ball.
got Tom Dearden playing like Darren Lockyer.
I know, it's a difficult situation for the Cowboys, sure.
Yeah.
I'd probably move Tabuai to the back somehow and have Drinky there.
Get rid of Hiku and Holmes. They're playing pretty well in the centre.
I just put Fido on the wing.
Yeah, but you got Felt and Tuolangi who are playing pretty well.
It's tough.
But you want the Hammer to have the most impact possible, and I think he does that via playing at fullback.
It's the same. It's a similar situation to Roger and Reece Walsh being at the Warriors, having 2 gun fullbacks in the same team.
Do?
Same with Harry Grant, Brandon Smith. But like fullback's one of those spots where it's not as easy.
Yeah,
you know?
I think. Yeah, I think Scott, like a player like that in your roster is so good. Like, because injuries happen, and they've got a pretty forward heavy bench. Let's just say, So I feel like any injury in that forward pack, he gets straight into the bench role.
He's a freak, though. I reckon he's so good. I've always thought he was a gun.
Him and Clifford had such a good combo before Clifford left. And then once that happened, they blew that up. The Cowboys played way worse last year. But it looks like they're back to playing some electric footy, even though they lost.
Good to see Tom Dearden ripping as well. Good
Yeah,
for him. He was
good young
so
player,
much shit.
going hard. Broncos-Roosters game. Broncos all over it in the first half. Tony Staggs special coming out of hiding. And then Joey Manu blowing the game open in the second half. Can't keep that guy out of the game at the moment.
2022, year of the centre.
Yeah. 2021, year of the old dog. 2022, year of the centre. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Heard it here first.
I'll roll with that.
Well, you've been spinning the yarn that Campbell Graham and Stephen Crichton will be playing for New South Wales.
Well,
Latrell now out for 8 weeks.
Injury
Tommy
pending.
injured. Brian To'o injured.
Because Tommy I think will be back, but Latrell and To'o I reckon will be touch and go.
I reckon To'o will be fine, but
Yeah.
Latrell 8 weeks from now.
Yeah.
8 weeks from round 5. When's Origin? Round 11 or something? Something like that?
Yeah.
Origin 1?
Well, let's just say To'o and Latrell are both out. I think Campbell Graham's playing centre. I think Stephen Crichton's playing on the wing.
I could say it. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's heaps of South Sydney and Penrith players in New South Wales anyway. So it'll just be like, we'll have our combinations.
Campbell Graham's been there already for a few years, like just in the squad.
Yeah, 18th, 19th.
And then I think Stephen Crichton has just shown that he can perform. Like he's won a grand final playing at wing. And now even the start of this year, like he's playing such good footy. And with that Penrith combination, I feel like although he is different to To'o, it's just like a smooth transition.
And like also, if Katoni Staggs plays good footy.
Well, I'd say Lomax gets picked before Katoni.
Okay. I don't necessarily...
Lomax is way more consistent than Katoni Staggs.
Yeah, sure. That's true.
Way more consistent. Katoni Staggs plays good footy for like one game in every couple, and he is a game winner. But I feel like Lomax is way like just across. Although both teams aren't doing so crash hot, but if I was to pick one, I would pick Lomax.
Yeah, okay. I feel like Lomax would be your Tommy though, and Katoni could be your Latrell, Because Katoni playing for New South Wales, I totally agree with your point. I agree that Lomax is more consistent. He's a freak, and I'd probably pick him first. 2. I'm just spinning the yarn that like Katoni Staggs could win you a game, and being in a team as good as New South Wales, he doesn't have to shine. If
True.
he doesn't, he just has to sit out there and be fast. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he just needs those things giving the ball pretty much. And the Broncos haven't been doing that in the early weeks. He hasn't really been touching the ball that much. Needs to become more involved because he's a quality player. But Sam Walker also played really well in the second half of the Roosters game just to get back into it. I thought he could have maybe got dropped 2 weeks ago when they were kind of on off, not finding any rhythm. They found their rhythm, and going quite well. Good comeback win.
The Roosters found their rhythm. That shocks me. Melbourne beat Canberra. Pappy ripping. Anything else to touch on there?
Not really. Melbourne were just strong from the get-go. They scored about 3 tries in 15 minutes, and it was kind of that the whole game. Canberra were coming back, but they were always at an arm's reach.
You could insert that, statement you just made to like every game Melbourne have played over the last decade.
Pretty much.
They scored 3 quick tries. The other team were kind of in it, but always at an arm's length.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just what they do.
Shout out Melbourne.
Yeah. The stinker of the week. This game stunk. Rabbitohs, St. George.
Smelly?
The worst. And it was just shit. Like, honestly, there was so many errors. There was not really any good bit of footy being played, if I'm being honest. It was just a terrible game to watch. And had then been like half the amount of errors, way more tries would have been scored to begin with as well. There would have been a ton of tries. The Dragons butchered 2 open tries in the first half. Just shocking game, really. Not a good game at all. Rabbitohs deserved to win just because the Dragons were so bad. so bad.
I'm pretty sure I watched the highlights on Saturday when I came home, and I was pissed, so I can't remember what happened.
Oh
But like, what I think, did I read today that the young like Sloan and that are going to get picked again this week?
Well, they've got to. They weren't the problem when they lost
No.
36 points to the Sharks. The whole team played bad.
Yeah.
And, their strongest lineup has them in that, Moses Mbai at fullback is not doing the same job Sloan did in terms of giving us a bit of X factor. No disrespect to Mbai. He's probably better suited at hooker. Although McCulloch has great experience, the bloke, honestly, he's that slow.
Yeah.
Like everyone just runs around him.
Yeah.
So while he's a good leader on the pitch, I'm sure he is. But
He's past it.
I don't think he's not going to get you into the top 8 playing hooker.
Yeah.
Moses Mbai, I'd rather see.
Okay.
To be fair,
That's a good take.
Interesting. Next game was the Titans Para. Para have been playing pretty well recently. I don't know if the Titans get back in that one without a sin binning.
Okay. I don't, not 100%. I can't remember the highlights from this game. I honestly can't remember what happened.
Yeah.
But like Parramatta seem like they're playing a pretty good brand of footy. And like, I think Dylan Brown playing good footy is kind of potentially that missing link that they needed.
Well, it gives them that other dimension that they've of attack, because it's always Moses and Gutho. But now they've got that third option there, and Marnie being back just gives them, a good attacking quartet of players.
Mate, they'd be spewing they've lost Marnie. Now that Dylan Brown's kind of coming into his own a bit, like they could just do with Marnie for another 3 or 4 years, and they'd probably keep their premiership window open. But with him gone at the end of this season, unless who are they bringing in, Josh Hodgson, it's just like, I don't know.
It's not a good pickup. It's not a good trade.
Not for Marnie, no. I'd wonder what went on there.
Tom Starling, if they got their mitts on Tom Starling somehow, wow, good. That's a great pickup. Someone needs to let him out of the cage.
Yeah.
Give him 80 the full game.
Yeah, I'm keen to watch Canberra with Fogarty and all their wheels in motion.
Yeah. Good to see David Feeder score as well. And it was a gun try.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he
Scoot
just
runs
ran
40.
through everyone. Sharks and West Tigers ended pretty much as you thought it would.
Exactly how you thought it would go.
Yeah. And the Tigers scoring a try was just like just a consolation try.
It was
at the end, like literally the last
they
play of
felt
the
sorry
game.
for us, almost.
Almost like he threw that intercept on purpose.
I haven't even seen it.
And the Sharks, to be fair, didn't actually play that well.
Well, that's kind of a reflection of where we're at.
And they I just think not much from the Tigers. I just think one thing I think is that I think James Tarmow should start off the bench when you guys have a full team. I don't think he should be starting in any way. I just don't think he doesn't have much, I don't know, you just watch him and it's like he's playing in slow-mo.
Yeah. Yeah, his best footy's behind him for sure.
Because he's probably still got a lot of ticker about him. Like, I've always liked him, but I just don't feel like he should be starting the game. He should be doing more what Andrew Fafita is doing for the Sharks, coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Twal needs to be starting as well.
Agreed.
Has to be. He was one of your best players last year.
He's one of our most consistent players every year.
He can't be coming off the bench. So
and he's not like an impact player either. That's the thing. He's a nut trucker.
Well, he's not going to. He just takes hit ups. He doesn't miss tackles. He doesn't miss tackles. And like we said last week, crying out for Adam Dewey to come back.
Dude, this when you think about what it must be like to be a Tigers fan, it is as deflating as you can imagine it is. And when Adam Dewey's not there, I don't even really want to watch.
I reckon Gildart is pretty rubbish as well.
You reckon he's rubbish? He was our best player on the field a couple weeks ago.
Nah, I reckon he's pretty rubbish.
Well, I wouldn't know. I haven't watched any Tigers games, so.
I don't rate him. Peachy has been a bust. I thought he would give you a bit of something. He's been shocking as well. There's been multiple times. He's been sent off twice, and there's been multiple times I've been like, what are you, surely you're not paying, you go to this bloke when you come off the field, you're not playing this week. That was actually horrible. Surely you just say, mate, you're not playing next week if you're a match. That was terrible.
You're not really enticing me to watch a game at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to enjoy my Sundays as they've been
Good
going,
idea.
you know?
Good idea. Similar person who played like that, jumping onto the next game, last game of the round last week, was the Bulldogs Penrith team. And in that game, Matt Duffy had easily the worst game of almost
Rugby league.
any player I've ever seen.
Was it that bad?
It was horrible. It was just shocking.
What was it? Errors?
Oh, mate, you name it. And he just wasn't there. I don't know if he didn't have enough Weet-Bix or something in the morning, but he was all over the shot. And Penrith again. Too good. Too strong. Too fast. There was literally one try. It was Lee Martin's try. They were just so fast playing the ball, going up the field. And by the time they got to the try line and Lee Martin had the ball, like it was like anyone in that back line could have scored. They were just decimated them, blew them off the park. But there was a try. So last week I was saying the Jake Averillo thing with him playing centre.
Did you say that on the pod or did you say
I
that
think
to
I
me?
said it on the pod as well.
Okay.
And he just like shuffled on to the Fox and then Fox then set up the try. So that actually did make them look a bit better in attack.
Do you know what?
But they were versing the best team in the comp, so...
Do you know what? Apparently Kyle Flanagan didn't train in the halves of the first grade squad with Matt Burton at all over the preseason.
I heard that as well.
How crazy is that?
And he seems like the ideal man to actually be...
Well, he's an out-and-out
Partnered.
7, right?
And he will control the game, take a bit of pressure off Burton to be more attacking.
I've always thought Flano was a good player. Like, I don't know. It's a really interesting one.
One-
Obviously, he's going to look bad at the Bulldogs because they fucking suck.
And the Roosters made him the scapegoat for that season.
They totally did.
Yeah.
They finished top 4, didn't they?
Yeah.
Still? Or
And they
finished
just
fifth,
went
maybe?
out in the finals. And that was his, second
Second
year.
year
And he
in
was the
NRL.
top point scorer in the NRL that year.
Crazy.
Like,
That is crazy to me.
yeah.
Crazy that they didn't just at least let him train with Burton over the years.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on from rugby league. Let's wrap this up because we're getting there. Do you want to touch on...
F1 also over the weekend. Look, if I say this wrong, apologies. Leclerc,
Yeah, sure.
or Leclerc, not really sure how to pronounce it. I did watch a video before
Where's he from?
Poland.
Leclerc.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure, but he drives a Ferrari. He won the F1 in Melbourne this weekend. Dan Ricciardo, the Aussie, finishing 6th. Apparently Dan Ricciardo is only 5'8". I thought that bloke was like 6'2". But I think it's because all the drivers are so small
He
and
looks
TV
tall.
just makes you look tall. But yeah,
Interesting.
there you go. I didn't know that. The Grand Prix hasn't been on for 2 years with COVID, and there was 420,000 spectators over the weekend down there in Melbourne.
Is it over a few days or is it...
Yeah, it's over 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
There was massive queues. I don't know if anyone saw, but there was massive queues at Sydney Airport for like going out of the terminal to get to Melbourne. So it
If
was
you like
on.
F1, it'd be an unreal
I think it
weekend.
would just be a great. The thing is, it is quite expensive. I looked up to going a couple of years ago, and it was pricey. But would still be a good spectacle to see. The Masters also on over the weekend. So that was won by Scott. I'm going to say Scheffler.
Yeah.
I tried to figure out how to pronounce that as well. And I couldn't find a video with audio on it. So don't know what the goes with that.
Let's go with
Golf
Scheffler.
hot. Yeah. But he shot 10 under, total of 10 under. And Aussie Cam Smith tied 3rd, shooting 5 under. So good effort. Cam Smith was 2nd at one point. But good to see an Aussie doing well. And of course, Sheffer winning the elusive green jacket. And I think about 11 million in prize money.
It's all right.
So pretty average day at the office, if you can ask me.
Yeah, pretty average day at the office.
Yeah. Imagine winning the green jacket though. It'd be pretty sick.
I'd be, yeah.
And then you get a lifetime membership at Augusta,
What's that?
the course that it's played at. It's like the
Okay.
most prestigious golf course in the world.
Where
in
is
the
it?
US.
Okay.
Yeah. Shane Warne actually has a hole in one there. On the
Shane Warne has
yeah.
a hole in one.
On the 16th hole.
Random.
Yeah. Just Warne needed to have that though.
Good
Yeah.
for him, dude.
Good. Yeah. Good. Mate, what hasn't he done to be
Yeah,
fair?
far out. Great.
But yeah, done well. Cam Smith as well came 3rd at the Olympics in golf. He got a medal at Tokyo.
He's doing all right for
So
himself.
he's doing all right. He's coming good.
Yeah.
Hopefully he not sure when the last Aussie won a Masters, but it would have been a while. You got anything you want to add to sport this week?
No, I think you summed up all my thoughts perfectly, mate.
Excellent. You want to hit the music?
Yeah, let's hit music. Let's bring it home. Music this week, old song. Nod to a great album, Teens of Denial, Drunk Drivers, Killer Whales by Car Seat Headrest. I will add it to the playlist.
Interesting name, interesting band name, interesting song name.
Yeah, I think, I was talking to Jared about this on the way back last week, and I haven't followed up on my research, but I'm pretty sure the band is called Car Seat Headrest because the main guy, Will Toledo, wrote the first album from inside his car because he was homeless.
Right.
Do your own research. I'm pretty sure I watched a doco about it because I tried to find an article or a blog post about it and I couldn't, so I watched a doco. But great song, great album.
Nice. Well, that's that.
That's that. I'm gonna go make bacon and eggs for dinner.
Respect. I am not going to go and do that. I'm just going to drive home and do an accounting assignment. How fun.
That sounds so fun, dude.
How fun.
Jealous.
I know, I'm pumped. Can't you tell? I'm actually that pumped for it. It's fuck. I'm so excited.
Dude, sorry for keeping you here.
Dude, I know, asshole. I've never been so keen to get into something. Oh, it's like Christmas.
Is it have you got a word count?
No, it's just a report. It's like data. Well, not data. It's just like finance kind of stuff.
Yeah, sounds,
look at numbers
sounds
good.
and
stuff, all that kind of jazz.
Yeah, sounds unreal.
Yeah, pumped.
Okay. Thanks for joining us as always. Episode 32 of the Barflies podcast. Good to be back. Hope you're happy to see our faces again. Maybe. I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
We get back up and about on Insta and TikTok.
Yep. And last week's episode, you got a double header of video coming this week. You got last week's YouTube and this week's episode's YouTube.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
That'll come tomorrow because I don't have soccer training.
Boom.
Freaking flyer, Sam was over on Saturday. He said he appreciated the double upload last week. Sam
Really?
Duffy.
No worries.
Don't worry about it. That's what we do, mate. That's what we do for the people.
Anytime.
Don't mention it. Don't worry about it. We won't hold you to it.
Yeah.
If you want to buy me a beer, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Here we go.
Have a good week.
Yeah. Have a great week.